If you're a UniSuper member sitting in the defined benefit division thinking your super is the safe, generous option, stop for a second. The product feels like a guarantee, but the fine print hides a return you can't see and a deadline you probably don't know about. There are two big paths inside UniSuper: the defined benefit division and Accumulation 2, and the choice between them can swing your retirement by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today, we'll do three things: model your DBD's real return, check your 2-year switching window, and price the inbuilt insurance you'd give up. Here's the number that frames it all. 24%. That's the default total contribution into UniSuper's DBD. 17% from your employer plus 7% from you, according to the UniSuper Defined Benefit Division product page 2024. But here's the part nobody tells you. That big contribution doesn't tell you what return you're actually earning. 3 moves, all free, all under 20 minutes each. First, model DBD against Accumulation 2. Second, check your 2-year switching window. Third, price the inbuilt insurance you'd lose. The DBD pays a defined benefit set by a formula: your average salary over your last 5 years, your years of benefit service, your age, and contribution rate. The PDS is explicit that this component is not directly affected by investment performance. Instead, your contributions are pooled and a formula decides your benefit. That sounds reassuring, but it means you never see an annual return you can compare against anything. So independent analysts reverse engineered the formula. They found the DBD's implied real return is only about 2 to 3% a year above inflation for a typical long-term member, according to independent analysis at expatfinance.us 2023. Compare that to a diversified growth accumulation option targeting around 4.5% real on $28,800 a year over 20 years. That's roughly $734,000 versus $914,000 in today's dollars. Modeled. Now the second trap, timing. UniSuper says you can generally choose to stay in the DBD or transfer to Accumulation 2 within 2 years of joining, per the DBD product page 2024. What the PDS doesn't shout is that switching back into the DBD is generally not available. For most members, that decision is effectively one way. That matters most for rising stars. Because your benefit salary is the average of your last 5 years, someone who joins the DBD early on a low salary can lock in lower numbers, while someone who uses accumulation during low-paid years and times the DBD later can shift the outcome by hundreds of thousands, based on scenarios in independent analyses at expatfinance.us 2023. Miss the window, and you can't undo it. The myth is that defined benefit is always safer and richer. People believe it because it feels guaranteed, but reverse engineered, the DBD's implied real return is only 2 to 3% versus 4 to 6% for diversified growth, according to independent analysis 2023. Never checking can cost you over $450,000. Put both problems together. The return gap alone is around $450,000 over 30 years. $1.16 million versus $1.61 million in today's dollars, modelled at expatfinance.us 2023. Add fee drag and salary timing, and the combined impact stretches to roughly $600,000 by age 65. Meet Sarah. She's 35, a senior lecturer at a public university on $120,000 with about $40,000 in an accumulation component on the side. She joined the DBD at 30, so she has 5 years of service, and she's just realised the clock on her options is still ticking. Sarah's first discovery, her guaranteed DBD return, is lower than she assumed. On her $28,800 a year, a 2.5% versus 4.5% real gap compounds to about $1.16 million versus $1.61 million over 30 years, according to modelling at expatfinance.us 2023. That's roughly $450,000 of lost potential. Her second discovery, fixed admin fees are quietly nibbling too. The UniSuper PDS discloses administration fees of $96 a year plus $200 to $400 per account per year, so around $296 annually, totaling about $8,880 over 30 years before any percentage-based investment fees. Her third discovery surprised her most. In the DBD, she gets inbuilt death and disablement cover at no member premium. But Accumulation 2 insurance is deducted from her balance, and the DBD offers no income protection at all. Replacing equivalent income protection retail could cost 1 to 2% of salary, roughly $1,200 to $2,400 a year, based on general retail benchmarks. Stack it all up, and Sarah's projected shortfall is around $450,000 in today's dollars by age 65, from the return gap alone, modelled at expatfinance.us 2023. With fees and salary timing, that range stretches towards $600,000. This is general information, not personal advice. So could this be you? You've never seen your DBD expressed as an annual return, you don't know exactly when your 2-year window closes, and you haven't priced the inbuilt insurance you'd give up. If any of those ring true, the next 3 moves are for you. Here's why these 3 moves are worth 20 minutes of your evening. The DBD decision is largely one way, so getting it right before the window shuts can be worth 6 figures to your retirement. We'll model the real numbers, confirm your exact deadline, and put a dollar value on the cover you'd lose. Move 1. Model DBD against accumulation. 2. Log into your UniSuper account and note your salary, your years of DBD service, and your projected benefit. Then run an Accumulation 2 projection on a growth option using the same contributions and benchmark net returns and fees in the ATO's UniSuper comparison tool. 3 steps. Note your salary, service, and projected benefit. Run an Accumulation 2 growth projection on the same contributions. Then compare net returns and fees in the ATO UniSuper tool. Good looks like a growth strategy targeting 4 to 6% real. And if your DBD implies under 3%, that's a red flag. Move 2, check your 2-year window, find your membership start date and current product type, then read the eligibility and switching sections of the DBD and Accumulation 2 PDS, noting the 2-year rule. Finally, ask UniSuper to confirm in writing whether you're still inside that 24-month window. 3 steps. Locate your DBD join date and confirm your division. Read the PDS section on eligibility and the 2-year rule. Then get written confirmation of your remaining window from UniSuper. Good looks like a dated, documented view of exactly when your choice expires. Move 3. Price your inbuilt insurance. List the death and disablement cover you get inside the DBD at no premium. Then quote the equivalent death, TPD, and income protection you'd buy as an Accumulation 2 member or in retail. Weigh that cost against any return advantage you'd gain by switching. 3 steps. Read the inbuilt benefit section of the DBD PDS. Quote, equivalent optional cover under Accumulation 2. Then subtract that premium cost from any return advantage. Good looks like a clear dollar value on the cover you'd be giving up. This is general information, not personal advice. Why now? In 2021, academic research notes the DBD became opt-in, meaning you have to engage at the outset per the AABFJ 2021. In 2024, UniSuper confirmed the 24% default contribution on its DBD product page. And in 2025, your own 24-month clock keeps running from your join date, after which the choice is generally one way. After you act, verify 3 things. You should see a side-by-side DBD versus Accumulation 2 projection. Confirm UniSuper has dated your switching window in writing. And if you switch, check your inbuilt cover is replaced before it lapses. Everything here comes from UniSuper's own product page and PDS, academic work in the AABFJ, and independent reverse engineering of the DBD formula. All the links and the source documents are in the description below so you can check the numbers yourself. Today you learned how to find the DBD's true return, check your switching window and price the insurance you'd lose. Next week we unpack how 5-year salary averaging quietly shrinks your defined benefit pension. Subscribe so you don't miss it. If reading the fine print on your super just saved you a 6-figure mistake, hit subscribe. That's the whole deal here. We read the PDS so you don't have to. One ask, subscribe, and share this with the UniSuper member who needs it most.